Hello, I'm Zach Gote. Whenever people are asking how to improve as a player, the usual answer is a general recommendation of check logs. If you don't know what logs are, simply put, the recording of everything that happens in WoW, damage events, casts, debuffs, positions, all the stuff that happens during a WoW either raid encounter or Mythic Plus encounter, things like that. You could also just log hitting a training dummy too. After someone records this stuff, it's uploaded to a website called WarcraftLogs, which WarcraftLogs organizes this data and puts it into a more readable format that we can walk around and analyze through this website. The idea of checking logs can seem daunting when you first open the Warcraft logs, and you'll just have all the info in your face with no direction or guidance. Reading the guides is very helpful, but reading is just boring. I don't know. And it won't put you where you need to start or where you want to start, things that you want to know quickly and stuff. So I'm going to help you get started with logs, one piece at a time. So today we're going to go over finding the talents and gear that the best players are using on every single fight, for each boss, for each spec, each class, different things like that that are ranked in the highest DPS and stuff. So starting on the homepage of Warcraft Logs, this is where you're going to be when you first click the link, Warcraft Logs, or just type in the URL. So I'm going to pick whatever I want to do, whether it's raids or dungeons, and whatever expansion I'm on. If I'm playing Classic, Vanilla, whatever, any of these things, I'm playing War Within. So let's imagine I am a War Within Enhancement Shaman player. So I want to find out, actually, let's pick something more like obscene. Let's say I am a Subtlety Rogue player, okay? And I want to find out what Subtlety Rogues are doing on Kaivesa. So let's go down to raids, go down to Kaivesa. So I'm finding the boss that I wanted to. And then I have all these different options where I have rankings, statistics, progress, all reports. So since I want to find out what the individual players are using, I'm going to go to rankings. I can get over the other ones on a different video or something like that, but for now, I'm going to go to rankings. So once I get to rankings, you're going to see I've got all these different people. This is ranked in the amount of DPS that they're doing. And as you can see, there's no sub rogues up here. There's an assassination rogue right there. So it's a little hard to sift through all this stuff and find someone from the top damage. So at the top here, I have all these different filters I can put on the logs. So as you see, I'm on damage, Nexus Princess Kaivesa, Mythic, which is the difficulty, regions, classes, factions, item levels, and then the current patch that we're on, then externals. So since in this case I'm a subtlety rogue, I want to go here, go down to classes, rogue, subtlety. So you'll see now I'm met with this screen. So I gained a little bit more information because now it's only showing sub rogues. So if I go to show more, these are the most used talents in the top 100 on Warcraft Logs. So the top 100 is the top 100 people that are doing the highest damage. So something about this talent breakdown is you'll see 100% of players are using this talent, but let's see right here, this is my hero talent. So there's actually 6% of players that are using this hero talent in the top 100, but the majority are using, the vast majority are using Deathstalker. So I might get some mixed results when I'm looking at these talents, which it doesn't look like it for Sub Rogue that there's going to be any changes. But if I go on to the top here and then go down to Deathstalker, now I only have Deathstalker people that are running Deathstalker showing what they're using. And Sub Rogue might be a bad example because of how many talents in their tree are just a necessity. The only things that look to be flexed are improved shadow techniques, which has a 2% pick rate, and then Gloomblade, which is being flexed, is a 96%. The Shadow Focus is also being flexed with a 99%. Some people are getting Replicating Shadows, some people are getting improved Shuriken Storm. And then on the class tree, there's actually a couple of things that are being switched. And so I can go over here and see, oh, what does this talent do? Okay, that might affect something, which this does nothing on Kaivesa. This might affect something, does nothing on Kaivesa, nothing on Kaivesa. And then you'll see as well, the colors are to like draw your attention. So I can look right here. Ooh, Leeching Poison. There's somebody on here that's not running Leeching Poison. They're running Soothing Darkness instead. So you can get into a bunch of different thoughts and things because you may know your class as much as you do and be able to read the talents and draw conclusions from this. And then under there, we have the trinkets. So on the trinkets, we have the most used trinkets in the top 100, are actually just the only used trinkets in the top 100. So we've got 100% are using Transmitter, which this is not a surprise from Sub Rogue. A Contract, Mad Queen's Mandate, Imperial Egg, Crystal, Spyglass, and then the Toxin, the bottled Flaywing Toxin. Then under the trinkets, we have the embellishments. So double focus lines, we got Writhing Armor Banding, Dusk Thread, we got a little mixture with an Ascension and a focusing lens. Focusing lens plus a question mark. Not sure what that means. Maybe that means they're not running another embellishment. but the 1% means that's one player doing it because it's the top 100. So it's easy to put the percentages into numbers of players. So if I were to draw a conclusion from Subrogue, I'd probably want to run the elemental focusing lens. It 100% comes down to your own sim, which if you haven't seen it before, I went over the basics on how to sim your character, how to compare gear and stuff like that. If you want to watch that video, I'll leave it linked in the top right. Then under the trinkets, this is a special one for just this patch only, which this new ring that came out, the Circe's circlet. Don't know how to say that word. Whatever. And it's going to show me how many people are running a specific set of gems, which we can get into the gems. There's a cheese strategy used for the gems, which looks to be like maybe it's still there, or maybe this is just how strong it is, because I thought they were filtering out logs with a certain number of procs, something like that. I think they removed the people that were doing a lot of damage with it. I think I remember last week there was an assassination rogue doing 2.4 million DPS to Kaivasa, so that one was removed. Then under all of this stuff, this is the compiled 100, top 100 people, I can see each individual player that has done the fight as Subrogue and ranked in from the top 1 to the top 100. So it's going to show this little summary of the amount of damage they did, their eye level, their name, their guild, when they did it, the duration of the fight, and then their talents, which a class tree and spec are separated, their hero talents, their ring gems, and then their trinkets. This is also the externals they received, which this guy got 2 Blessing of Autumns. Then if I wanted to open up his stuff and see the exact pieces of gear he's wearing, I could open up this and then check, okay, these are all the talents he's running, which I made a note of. People were flexing out for improved Shuriken Storm, or replicating shadows, or improved shadow techniques, and he doesn't seem to be running those, so I could take his build and just export it. If I just pressed export, it'd not be copied to my clipboard, and I could just paste it right into game. I also can look over his class tree and see exactly what he was running, where there was a bunch of different talents people were taking and changing around. None of them really matter for Kaivasa on Rogue, so we're not looking too deep into that. Then down here, we have, these are each piece of gear that he was wearing. So I could just check this stuff to see all that he's using right now, and you see this is a focus lens, and then this is just a crafted piece. This is his other focus lens, so he's running 2 focus lens. Those are his embellishments. Then, if I wanted to find out the people who were running the different talents, where improved shadow techniques, or if they're running replicating shadows, or the one person running improved Shuriken Storm, I could go into here and move the spec talents around until I find the point where I think it's right here is where I would see it. So I could scroll down, and one of these people is going to catch my eye. So this guy right here, he's a little different, you see. He dropped Gloomblade, which that was the one that has 96% pick rate. So there's 4 players that aren't using it. So he instead went with, I think he has a later talent because, so yeah, he has improved Shuriken Storm. So whatever this means for him, not 100% sure, but it is what it is. So different classes will have different things that they can flex, change per boss, and that's how you find them out. So I hope this has been a helpful way of kind of breaking down the Warcraft logs into pieces. So we're going to start now where I just explained the talents, the gear, all that stuff. And then if you wanted to get even deeper, I'll cover this in a different video on how to start looking at this stuff. But here's the actual log. So the log has everyone's damage, everyone's casts, which you see everyone's casts is here. So I could go into this Subrogue, and I could go even to events where you might not know how to do this, but now you do. You see the exact time that people are pressing this stuff. So I'll break down in another video how to continue chipping away at learning how to read logs and analyze them, helping you understand where to find specific things so that you can leverage that into learning about your spec more and analyzing the top players and seeing how you can change what you're doing to be like them. So thank you for watching, and another disclaimer, like I said, I'll be posting the video as an end card, but I also explained how to do sims and compare gear on a basic level. So that is where I would recommend going to for if you are thinking about just a single target fight and trying to find the best gear for yourself. That's how I'd recommend gearing yourself and choosing different talents. Although each talent has a different meaning to it and can imply something different. Although each talent on every single class can mean something different, and gaining damage on a one target 5-minute fight with no or little movement cannot always translate to gaining DPS in game, which that's just an understanding that you'll have to have of your class that you'll gain through experience. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.